All right, so we're getting closer and closer to living in a Blade Runner universe because China apparently just approved companies for licensing to operate flying taxis. So some regulators in China recently granted commercial flying taxi industry licensing so they can operate autonomous passenger drones. The two companies that are on the NASDAQ listed Ehang Holdings and Hefei Hay Airlines, and they obtained air operator certificates from the Civil Aviation Administration of China, which is also known as CAC. They received the certificates on Saturday of this past week, according to state-run news. And what this means is that both companies are cleared to use unmanned aerial vehicles to offer commercial passenger services, including urban sightseeing tours. The air operator certificate was the final thing that they needed to overcome in order to start actually taking passengers up into the air, because they already had the certificates in order to start production, and also, I guess, an airworthiness certificate that said that they're good to fly. Apparently, Beijing's been allowing people to really start investing into what they're referring to as a low altitude economy, which is essentially an economy that involves technologies that range from delivery drones to blimps and flying cars. Apparently, the leaders in China are pretty much on board with this thing as well. Now, apparently, there's a research group called Hurun that took data from the Civil Aviation Administration of China in order to try to figure out what the low altitude economy is predicted to be worth eventually. And they're saying that by this year, 2025, that the low altitude economy is predicted to be worth $207 billion, and that they think that by 2035 it's going to be worth $3.4 billion, so almost double. Now, if there's companies in China that are doing this, I can guarantee you that there are probably companies here in America that are probably trying to do the same exact thing. I just think it's going to be wild to see how they kind of prevent mid-air collisions and stuff when there's tons of drones flying around all over the place, delivering stuff, dropping food off, delivering people, providing emergency medical services, like landing and like medically evacuating people. Like, there's so many possibilities with this, but I just don't know how the Federal Aviation Administration would deal with it over here. I mean, I don't know how they're going to deal with it over there either, but either way, this is going to get real crazy, but it is exciting times that we're living in. That being said, this could still become some very dystopian stuff real quick if it's not done correctly.